Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we are going to mess around with this 222A Coleman lantern. This is the peak one. We're going to see what we got going on. Now, first thing I noticed was the little rubber thing was broken. I tried to, off camera, melt both ends and stick it together, but whatever this is made out of, it doesn't like to melt. So I attempted real quick, just cut out one out of an inner tube, but it kind of catches and tweaks up, so we'll have to look for one of those down the road. So first thing we're going to do is pull out this bail. Get the bail off. Ventilator will come off. We're going to try to wash that. It looks kind of brown and rusty, but I don't think it is. I think that's just some kind of gook. We'll get the little globe off. We shall take off the heat shield. And then there's a little nut down in there. And that's extremely loose, so I don't even need a wrench. Pop that nut off. And the whole frame comes off with the burners, looking nice. Then we have a little collar here, and this stud. And all we're left with is the fount, the valve, and the generator. Let's get that generator off. Man, these things are in there tight. I'm actually going to set up my my vise so I don't tweak anything. So give me a second, I'll set that up. Alright, I have it in my vise. And if you're looking to get one of these vices, these are made by Rob. And you can reach out to Rob and he sells these. This one I happen to win. Alright, let's get the right size wrench. Should be a 1/2 inch. Nope. Yeah, this is going to be a weird size. Yeah, see, it's not a 1/2 inch, not 9/16. So we'll go back to our adjustable. And there you go. It's a little sketchy when you got to try to hold on to something to loosen a part. You don't really want to tweak anything. Alright, let's see. So should be, there you go. And there's the generator. Alright, let me readjust all this. Alright, so we have it all disassembled. So this, what I'm going to do is just going to get a soft cloth and just a little bit of dish soap, and I'm just going to clean this up. I'll put the cap back on, make sure I don't get any water in there, and we'll hit it with a little bit of this paint clarifying compound and get that cleaned up. We'll get the vent cap washed up. Hopefully that comes off. Then we'll get rid of all this nonsense. And we'll basically put it back together and see how it works. So before I do that, I did check the pump, and the pump works great. So all I got to do is just put a drop of oil in there, and we'll be good to go. All right, I'll bring you back when I got it cleaned up. All right, I am extremely pleased with how that cleaned up. I did not even touch it with the clarifying compound. All I did was use a little paper towel with some dishwashing soap, and it came out beautifully. We got the frame cleaned up, and check out this vent hood. That was just crud on it. Very, very nice. I'll tell you what, this thing is pretty heavy for its size. Came out very nice. Let's see what the generator looks like. That's looking good. I'll tell you what, it's not even dirty. I'm not going to even do anything to this at this point. Normally I would scrub it out, but there's not even any soot in there. So let's get this thing back together. Alright, we'll put this little collar on there. Let's get the generator back on. Am I in frame? I'm never in frame. Let me move this up a little bit. Okay. Alright, so we got the little hook on there, and then we have a little hook on this eccentric here. We'll get that in there, and we'll lift this up, turn the valve to bring it down. Alright, now, take a look at that. You see how that's cocked that way? I've noticed that a lot of times generators will do that depending on when the person put it in, if they bent it. So I'll try to get it as straight as I can before I tighten it. That looks pretty good. Now we'll snug this up. Alright, we get the generator on. And the generator is going to go right up in this hole. So you got to be careful when you put on this frame that you go get the generator in first. And it should sit right on there, which it does. We'll get our nut. Let me see what size this is. 7/16. We'll get this on. Looks good. Snug that down. Not loose anymore. Very, very cool. Let's see now. So off is all the way down that way. All right, so this thing, let's get the heat shield back on. See if this has any little weird bends in it. That looks good. Let's see how very, very good. All right. So now I got to get a mantle on there. And I believe this is a size 20 mantle. Yeah, it's a 20 mantle. And I only have 21s. So I think it was my 226. What I did was I cut the mantle and I rethreaded it. Let me see if I can find a mantle and show you how I did that. Let me get a little closer here. And I know when I'm on camera, it's not going to work as easily as it does when I'm not on camera. Alright, so what I do is I'll pull out the actual string. Then I'll take this mantle and right about where the green, and I'll cut that off. Okay. Now, turn this, I'll put just a little hem on it. Hopefully you can see that. Let me get this threaded. So I just have an upholstery needle here. And I'll just start to it'll be a little gentle, but you'll get it through. Now, a lot of folks were saying just, you know, pull it up higher, tie it up here, but it really doesn't want to go higher. It kind of gets stopped here. It's not like you have a regular burner tube where you could literally put it all the way up. I'm pointing to something you can't even see. So some folks were saying, you know, put it up higher on the burner tube, but you can't with this one because it has this, you know, this frame that was made out of sheet metal. So let's get back to what I was doing. All right. Oh, my thread came out. Good thing I saw that before I yanked on it. And there you have it. Little baby sock. All right, now let me readjust this. Get this on here. Come on now. All right, got that on. Let's trim this. Okie dokie. Let's clear this out of the way. So we got our mantle on. Let me get some fuel in here, and then we'll burn it in and we'll try it out. We got it fueled up. I had pre-tested it to make sure it held pressure, so we're okay with that regard. So another thing is, I like to light these at least the first time without the globe and the vent on. And then, like, you know, on the other ones, the 220s and all of that stuff, the 200As, well, mostly the 220s, it's very easy to put the globe on, put the vent on, and you're done. This model, the 226 and the 200As, you got to put the vent, the globe on, then the vent, and you got to line up these two little. you know what? It's a pain in the neck to get it on, and it ain't something you're gonna want to do when it's burning hot. You know what I mean? You're just really not gonna want to do it that way. So I'm gonna test it with the globe off and the vent off. Then I'm gonna shut it off, put that on, and then we'll light it through the light hole. Okay? So we got the fuel cap on tight. Let's give it a few pumps. Let's light up the mantle, pre-burn it. This is a peerless mantle. For some reason, the Coleman mantles have went up in price. And these peerless are a pretty good deal. I get them off of Amazon. Let that smoke dissipate. All right. Now, we'll turn her on. Heat up the generator. There she goes. Oh yeah. Nice. Nice, Captain, nice. I'll let that burn in for a few minutes. I should have straightened out the mantle a little bit. Look at it. Looks like a pumpkin. Look at that, huh? Oh, that's nice. For those of you that have these, the 222A and the 226s, do you use the 21A mantles on them? Because when the 21A mantle shrinks, it gets pretty small. I mean, I'm going to guess, let me get a little pointer action here, that a 21, it'll only come down to about there. You know? What do you all think? I'm thinking to probably get away with a 21A. Well, that's burning good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut this off. We'll let that burn down. And then I'm going to come back and we'll get the globe on. We'll get the vent on and the bail. And we'll light it back up and see what she looks like. All right, let's see. Okay. Cool down enough. Let's get our globe on. And then if you see right here along this slot, that's where you have to line up right there. So we will slip this on. And now, the pain in the neck part is to try to get this in the holes. Because you can't really see it too good. Okay, got that side. Think I missed that one, did I? Nope. Okay. So we got the bail, the vent, and the globe on. Let's give it a couple pumps. Still holding pressure very well. I really don't like lighting these through the holes. I really don't. Oh, let me use the cool little lighter that Rob gave me. Alcohol. Let's move this over here so I can get this up in there. Let's see. Yeah, that'll work. We'll get a little denatured alcohol. I'm notorious for overfilling things. trying to look down at the end to see if it starts to glisten. Yep, see it. Let's see if she lights up. Yeah, it's gonna light up. There she goes. All right, let's turn her on. Whoop, went out. Don't be so quick too that if you, yeah, you hear that fuel. I was gonna say, don't. That's why I turned it off. Don't be so quick to turn it back on, because there should be some fuel in there. Nice. Very, very cool. Now, of course, it's daytime, but let's shut some lights off and see. Wow, that burns nice. I could see, you know, the advantages to something like this. You know, they're obviously, we're marketing this as a camping lantern, right? More, when they say a camping lantern, I'm guessing they're meaning more like backpacking, right? You could take this and the Peak 1 stove, and the founts obviously are smaller, and they are definitely more lightweight than a full-size lantern. So, you know, if weight is a concern, this set, you know, with the Peak 1 stove, you know what? Let me go grab that Peak 1 stove so you can see them side by side. All right. Well, you can't really see too good with this burning, but yeah, there you go. Let's kill this. So that would be the set, right? You got the Peak 1 stove, and you got the Peak 1 lantern. Yeah, I'm thinking that looks pretty dang cool. You know, still, even though they're small and, you know, relatively light compared to the, you know, bigger versions, I don't see how you're putting that in your backpack. To me, if you're going to take a fuel lantern like that, you need some kind of conveyance. You know, you're going with your car, your truck, whatever, horseback, or, you know, four-wheeler, ATV, whatever. You need some kind of conveyance. I wouldn't want to carry that stuff in a backpack with the fuel and everything in it. Again, just my opinion. But definitely a cool set. I'm digging it. I got to find a display, some way to display these two next to one another, because I think they need to live next to one another. What you all think? So there you have it. Again, that was just super easy. I mean, really, just some dish soap and, you know, a little water on a paper towel, and it just cleaned up beautifully. I'm very, very pleased with that. And it fired right up. So, yeah, I'm very, very happy. I'll definitely make some kind of display and put them up there together. And, yeah. So, you know I'm going to say it. I'm sending you all much, much love and appreciation, my brothers and sisters. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And we'll see you on the next one.